to the very first panel discussion. If you've been at Access, the previous editions, Rwanda hasn't been always represented to the max as much as it should be. So it's great we're here to learn, not only teach, but learn about the music ecosystem here in Rwanda. People like Eric Soul, a big shout out to him. He's been talking about Rwanda culture, Rwandan music. So he's one of the pioneers who've been pushing for this, and I'm so glad that we're finally here. We finally get to hear from some of those stakeholders and participants. So the very first session, guys, is understanding the Rwandan music market. I'm going to invite on stage artists and industry players to navigate this conversation. There is Ariel Ways from Rwanda. She's a Rwandan artist. Make some noise for her. She joins us on stage. Ariel Ways, okay. Moving on, there's Uncle Austin. He's a music and media executive here in Rwanda. Please make some noise for Uncle Austin. Great, great, great. Mighty Popo, a musician and an educator here in Rwanda as well. Make some noise for them until they actually come on stage, guys. Let's keep it going. Ornella Kayitaba, she's a curator from So Far Sound here in Rwanda as well. And then the moderator himself, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome the founder of Africa in Colors here in Rwanda, the man himself, Rahul Rugamba, as he comes on stage. So this panel is going to dive into the heartbeats of Rwanda's music scene, uncovering the local dynamics that are driving change and shaping Rwanda's future in music. The panelists are going to provide insights on the current trends from different genres, innovative audience shifts, and the challenges and strategies that are available to the artists here in Rwanda to be successful in Africa's music ecosystem and the global music ecosystem in general. So ladies and gentlemen, once again, a round of applause. I'm going to hand over to Rahul to take over from here.
Thank you, sir. Hello, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you? Is there anyone in the room, or are we alone? Hello? This is supposed to be a music conference with creatives in the room. Why are you guys shy? Good morning. Good morning. Yes. So my name is Rahul Rugamba. I'm the founder of African Colors. And I'm with amazing panelists here, creatives, artists. I can't sing myself, but they will do it for me. And this is a huge challenge. I will first say congratulations to the Music in Africa organizing team. Please applaud for them. This is a... Do you guys know what Music Africa is? Is it your first time by doing this? This is your first time being part of African Music in Africa? Access? Aha. So I hope you guys learn, connect, and do business after this conference. It's an amazing platform for us, for creatives, entrepreneurs, and artists. So let me introduce first my fellow panelists. I will start from you, Ornella.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ornella Kayitaba, and I'm the software sound curator of Rwanda. But I'm also a music teacher in Musanze, for those who know, at a school called Virunga Valley Academy. And I'm happy to be with you today.
Then Ariel.
Good morning. My name is Ariel Ways, and I'm an artist here based in Rwanda. Yeah.
No, you can't. You're an artist. You can't introduce yourself like that. Please, tell them.
Ways on a way.
Yes. Yes. And then Uncle Austin. Who are you uncle to? Who?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Austin, commonly known as Uncle Austin. I'm an artist, a pioneer, a radio personality, a media guy, and an artist manager, and all that for the past 22 years. Yeah, I'm not 40 yet, though.
I thought you were young.
You thought I was young? Yeah. I've been in the media since I was 15. Yeah.
Okay. Let's suppose we are in a studio here. Welcome us in the studio, please.
Yo, what's up? You're listening to 102.3 Keys FM. This is Yo Man on Radio.
Mighty Popo. This is my big brother. He saw us starting this in this space. So please introduce yourself.
Thank you, my tall little brother. Murigande Jacques is my name, or Popo, or Mighty Popo is my stage name. I'm a recording artist, film script writer, music educator. Thank you for inviting me here today.
Thank you. So with this panel, we'll try to understand the Rwandan music industry, and we'll do that in 3 parts. So we'll try to navigate real quick the ecosystem through their experiences and expertise, and then we'll open the floor for a few questions, 2 or 3. So the first ones will have a chance, and then we'll close and welcome the second panel. So the music industry in Rwanda is really so far the largest in terms of creative industries. And we face a lot of challenges, but it's also an industry like any other sector in Rwanda that has seen tremendous growth for the past few years. Some of the challenges are mobility, of course, access to funding, etc. So through this panel, we'll try to understand those challenges, but we don't want to talk about challenges a lot because we know we face the same challenges across the continent and beyond. So without further ado, how do you see the music industry in Rwanda today compared to when you came, right? So it has been more than 30 years, 22 years, I guess 5, 10 years, So what have been the things you saw when you came in and where it is today?
Well, when I said that I joined radio when I was 15, I got my first radio job in this country when I was 17. You cannot imagine how hard it was to even listen to a radio station and hear a local song. You have no idea. I always tell people this story. I remember this one time when I was on radio and I played one of our first urban artists, Rafiki. It's called Rafiki. I played this song on radio, and the owner of that radio called my phone in Kinyarwanda saying, Austin, loosely meaning, Austin, what is that you're playing on my radio? Because they believed it was always better to play Congolese, Kenyan or Ugandan or Lucky Dube. So the following day, I played the same song, but this time my phone was off because I did not want him to call me to complain about it. So we used to have 97 or 98% international music, nothing like local music. Today, I work for a radio station that plays 88% Rwandan music. 88%, you don't know what that means. It means the industry has grown. We've looked for solutions internally, locally, first by making sure that we give a chance to our local talent. When I told you I started doing radio at an early age, I used to sing as well. But we also had a challenge of producers. Then we actually had producers who were doing only, if you know Mehdi Saleh, as a videographer, he used to be a producer, audio producer. So I went to him. I wanted him to do me a song. I'm an Afrobeat artist. He did me a hip-hop track. I was like, bro, I'm not going to be Tupac today. So what I did, I was like, you know what? I'm in radio already. Let me go and promote those that actually have the producers that can actually produce what they have. So I went back on radio and decided to wait till I got a chance to find a producer that could actually produce what I wanted to do. So we've navigated through not even having enough producers to do different genres to today having over 300 producers in this country, guys. Over 300. Most of these young producers self-taught themselves how to produce. I think you know how the pandemic, how COVID was hard on every single person, but for me, I believe it was an advantage in disguise. Because during the COVID, it's when we got producers, the biggest producers today that are producing songs for artists like Wizkid, Element, came during the pandemic. We have guys like Prince Keys. We have loads of producers. Actually, more artists like Ariel Ways came up during the pandemic. Lots of them. So I think we've got solutions. But now what we're lacking, we'll get to that, but it's almost coming here. Yeah.
Amazing. So, Popo, having lived outside Rwanda in different countries, different cultures, how do you see the music then and today?
Thank you. Thank you much. Thank you very much. I think Uncle kind of summarized it quite well. Living in countries where the industry exists in big time, I mean, my professional life, I lived mostly in Canada, but I was lucky to tour Europe and USA. From the days you was talking about, like the Rafikis and the Miss Jojo, and I believe Tera also came at that time, Tera no less. Tom Close, and then we have grown a lot. We have grown a lot in terms of talent. Of course, we still have, a long way to go to get to where we would like to be. Progress, a big progress, we've gone, a long way to be where we are today.
From an industry that didn't have a school to an industry that has a school, right?
Yeah, I mean that. When I arrived here, in my many trips back home, one of the things that made me want to move here permanently is to bring solutions to some of the challenges we had that I came to realize, especially in the quality of music performance. Mm-hmm. It was really low. Because after the genocide in 1994, many things were lost, including the artists, the instrument players, the composers, and technology was catching up. So when Uncle Austin talks about Mehdi making him a hip-hop beat at that point, I don't believe there was a bass player around in the studio to play bass. No, I don't believe there was a drummer. I don't believe there was a guitarist. There were keyboard players and people who could do programming. So for me, I wanted to bring back, the acoustics, the acoustic instruments, the drummers, the singers, the real singers. At that time, there were more lip syncing, literally lip syncing. People who would just get on stage and pretend to be singing on music that was recorded. Not even singing, with a track. No, lip syncing. So I said, not under my watch. I had to do something about it. That's when we started with the music festival, first of all. Kigali Up Music Festival, where we can expose Rwandan artists to real instrument players, real composers, real music, how it used to be done before, even here. At the exception, without cutting you off, of the music, the genre of music we call Igisope, like Makanyaga and them, they were actually playing real music. And in churches, they were playing real music. And of course, there are very few reggae artists. It's very rare to see a reggae artist going up there and faking it, or gospel going out there and faking it. It was all in the new trends that was happening then. So that's the little...
Yeah. And back then, when we used to produce events, it was really playback events, right? And then since the school came in, we are now dreaming of seeing more of these young people doing live music. And you guys are producing around 100, 200 students every year.
60 every year, yeah. We started with 30 graduates. Now we're graduating, between 50 and 60, because we recruit 60 every year. Okay. But not all of them graduate.
All right. Yeah. And Ariel is one of the products of the school.
Yeah, Ariel is one of our 2018 graduates. Yeah.
So Ariel,
clap for her, please.
Yes, that's a product of the school. So Ariel, what do you think of the music when you came in and where it is today?
Thank you so much for giving me the time to speak. It's an honor to be here, first of all. To me personally, there's been a big step in the music scene here in Rwanda, where now we have independent female artists standing up for themselves, independent artists standing up here, and thank you. To me, that's a big step, to be honest, because in the past 5 years, I grew up listening to many female artists, but now I would only speak of Knowless. I would say she's the only one standing, you know? And to me, it taught me a lot of things. It taught me that the game, the whole industry is just not for the weak, to be honest with you. It's not for the weak. You have to come ready. You have to come ready to fight. You have to come ready to face anything possible that could happen. And you have to come ready to stand up for yourself and do it for yourself. Thank you.
But do we have to fuse our music genre for our traditional and roots to be seen, to be heard on the global stage? Do you guys think it's really necessary, or it's needed, or should we do it?
I think it is.
Well, I think that it's very necessary. Speaking from someone who's been curating events here that are strictly live performances, it's been beautiful to see the growth in seeing artists blend the culture here with the modern, basically, what's trending. And being able to perform that live has been amazing. For like Sofer Sounds, what we're doing is we created a space where artists leave the stage feeling valued, but also the audience leaves the room feeling, having discovered artists and maybe adding a few more artists on their playlist. And that's what we're striving for. And so seeing because for me, I grew up not really understanding the Rwandan culture, but through music, it has really allowed me to love our Rwandan culture, and I've been seeing a lot of impact, even with the people, like the artists, how they're inspired with the hairstyle, the way they do the Amasunzo hairstyle, even the clothing brands that are coming out now, where they're actually putting the Rwandan culture outside, So for us who didn't have a chance to be there, in the times where Popo was there, we are now also wanting to experience that individually, and that is also done through music.
Amazing.
If I can just add a little bit to that. Every, successful music genre or trend is a fusion of some sort, whether it's from here or any other place in the world. From jazz to, now I'm talking about the roots of all urban and commercial music. From jazz to blues to gospel to ragtime to you name it. Now you move back here to high life, Afrobeat from Fela days, Afrobeat today. Now you come to rumba, Sebene, Congolese, and Benga, and all this music is fusion of some sort. So we, even as human beings, we are fusion of some sort. So it's a natural course, if you may. And here, we no exception. The way our music has been moving, it's in the right direction. Now you have purists somewhere who can call themselves, we can be categorized as country artists, as Afrobeat artists, or R&B, but irrespective of what those selections are, it still is a fusion of some sort. We should just be happy for what's happening in Rwanda. We see now the emergence of our traditional music, traditional singers, but youngsters, young people who are fusing our traditional beat and time signatures, and dance music with urban sounds. I guess Honorable Minister mentioned Afro-Gakko, right? As an educator, the only danger I see is when somebody's trying to do it without the knowledge of it. So they just go and hustle it. Like lately, we shouldn't be afraid to mention and to point fingers to people who are copying other people's music in a very bad and you know, not too tasty. You know, there was a kid lately who did this Afro-Gakko thing. He copied or she copied someone else's song, like not for not even the key of the song. That's horrible. I'm old enough to say that, so maybe some of you are not allowed to say it, but I can be excused. So anyways, it's a beautiful thing. Even in our music program, we have to also get on it and teach it. As a matter of fact, we've been teaching it from the beginning of our music program. I'm even a product of that. Only then we call it world music. They still call it world music. I'm a world music artist. That's how I'm known outside of Rwanda. So this Afro-Gakko really falls into the world music.
So let's understand who consumes your music now. So we used to sell CDs, and that was a one-on-one thing, and then we grew up to some performances, etc. So who consumes our music today?
I think it's the world that consumes the music. In what way? To go a little bit back on the fusion, however you fuse the music, but without the exposure, it means you'll be doing the music for your own self. So, with the help of the exposure, digital platforms, this has helped the more music to come from one stage of just selling CDs to your own people in your country, to at least letting people abroad listen to you. When I say abroad, it means somebody who is actually out of your land, your borders. You know, there is all these digital platforms. You'll find that if the days when we used to do and sell CDs, you could only have Rwandans only knowing your music. We did lots of songs since the early 2010s. There were massive big songs, not only in Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, but we never got a chance to actually maybe export it out to countries like US or anywhere. But now that we do have the digital platforms, and with the help of the government now that we're actually getting a chance of having the Trace Awards in the country, we're having a chance to have access in the country, it means we're also going to have a chance of actually having the digital platforms widen up, and then we get exposed to audiences in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Mali, anywhere. So when we talk about who is consuming our music, it's every single person, but the only thing that we need for those people to actually know about our music is the exposure. We need to get those people to know about us. How are we going to get to be known about, how are they going to know about us? It means if we can watch the video on Trace Urban, we need to watch Bruce Melody on Trace Urban. That's the only way that somebody is in Ethiopia will know about Bruce Melody. But if we actually get to keep it here, it means whatever that we will do, we won't be out there.
Yeah. I don't want to sound like Uncle. I'm not old like Uncle. But I'm sure you didn't sell any CD.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I got lucky to grow up in the times where now we have Spotify, we have YouTube. It makes it easier for the consumers to actually access the products that we put out.
Do we make money as Rwandan artists on those digital platforms than live performances?
We do make money, but as you know, it can never be enough, you know? But now I see where it came from. There was never where an artist could put the music out there and actually get money without having to perform or anything. Now we do that. Now we have that. We have where we can put our music and then get the money. Now the problem is, I'm going to talk about one point that I plan to talk about. The issue now is overworked now, and low, how am I going to call it? Excuse me for a while. Let me check again.
In the
I don't
meantime,
wanna,
run for everyone on Ariel. She's making money. Clap for her.
I am actually, I am. So this point is called overworked and underpaid. I feel like that's something my fellow artists understand. Where now art is really expensive, to be honest. I don't know if you guys know it, but it's really expensive to from the recordings, from the compositions, writers, videos, and all that to make that product go out. It takes a lot. Now, as an independent artist, I invest all that through that money that I was talking about that comes from the streams, platforms, and all that. Now, when I take that money and invest again in my art and everything that I want to do to make my art meaningful to me, you know. Now, the problem is after putting that out, is it going to bring back the same, not the same, but at least, is it going to bring back, let's say, like half of the investment I did as an independent artist? Now, I think that's where the problem is. Yeah.
Amazing. So real quick, I want to dive into challenges, but let's talk about challenges, but also solutions, right? What you guys have faced as a challenge, and how did you guys find a solution for it? Ornella.
Yeah, I can start by also mentioning what Ariel just mentioned. I've had a chance to work closely with the artists, and I get to know their challenges. One being they're investing a lot into studio sessions, also music video production, but at the end of the day, once the product is out, how is it actually making money again back for them, you know? Because at the end of the day, we are the ones that are supposed to be supporting them. That's where the event planners come in, that's where the promoters come in. We need to give them the platform where they can actually showcase what they've been creating. And so with little promoters or little event planners or giving the chance to the artists to showcase what they have, then whatever they're investing in really doesn't get far. One thing I've noticed is that when I started Sulfur Sounds, I got the chance to get I got the spotlight, first of all, but also the artists, not just me, but the artists as well. They're getting a chance to put their music videos out there, but also being watched by a lot of people, not just Rwandan, not just the Rwandan community. So like Imakanizi, when we did the first release of his live performance session, it went viral. And the UK team, so basically the global team, they were like, the video is going viral, it's getting a lot of views, we're so proud of what you did. But that was like the Rwandan music going out there. So they actually got to see what the Rwandan artists are capable of doing. And so with more people providing those opportunities, I feel like the challenges that Ariel Wes is mentioning can be solved, because yes, they're investing, but at the end of the day, they're actually seeing results. Then they're inspired to create more. It's very challenging, but at the same time, I feel like it's a positive challenge, because they're still able to do it on their own. And I really value that, the fact that with little income, they're still able to go and create and record and really increase the Rwandan music industry.
Ariel?
Yeah.
If I can add something to that, one of the solutions that I feel like I may share with you guys is to actually talk to this is going to talk to the investors mostly, because I think if we have more investors who are not scared of when the return is coming, because art is not a business like any other, I believe. I believe art is a business where it needs time, patience. Branding, it comes with a lot of things. So to me, I believe if we have investors who are not scared to invest in as artists.
So the biggest challenge was access to finance.
Yeah, access to funding, all that, I believe that.
Okay. And then what did you do to find your next budget for your next video? How do you do it? How do you finance?
I've been trying to create my own opportunities rather than waiting for concerts, event organizers to come to me. What I do, I just try to make my own shows, small mini shows here and there. It also helps us with the fan base to see people who actually can show up to your personal thing. Yeah.
Amazing.
I think it's been really, really hard in this country when it comes to the difficulties of finances for the artists, because one of the biggest main sources of income is through performances. I think a friend of mine, Clemao from Kina Music, would actually attest to that. But some of the solutions have come from us. Like I was saying, we would, well, this is one of the things that I used to do, that we would sell music videos to investors indirectly. How? Well, this is one way that actually any other artist can actually use. If you watch 1 or 2 videos of mine, you'll find the product that I'm actually selling in the video, but indirectly. Let's say a hotel. Let's say a brand that goes through a video. Well, to you, you won't actually find out, but it's marketing indirectly. So that's at least one way of making money. But the other solutions would have been if our corporate companies were easy to convince to come on board. Rwanda is one of the few countries in Africa where having a company, a huge corporate company, have a brand ambassador and be paid good money is actually one of the few countries that is actually hard to find. Because you'll find that if this company has you as the brand ambassador, they're giving you $3,000 for a year. I mean, that's peanut. And then at the end of the day, when you do a concert, they want to do what they call a tie-in. When you sell a ticket, they want to get, if you're selling a ticket at 5,000, they want 2,000 francs back. So it's really hard, but with the help of the government, I mean, if now that the government sees and trusts us, maybe at least now even the corporate companies will actually start seeing how the potential that we do possess. So I believe it's one of the solutions moving forward.
Amazing. Do you want to say something or no? So how do we access market? Because when we have these kind of platforms, right, as you mentioned, it gives access to your next gig, not only this one, but the next one. So how do you guys doing in terms of accessing your next gig, the next market?
It's very hard because most of the promoters do look at a few things that other places do not look at. So it's very, very hard. We can't actually necessarily tell you, but one of the only things we can actually access our next gig is by producing more music that you get to actually have current hits. You won't find that in other places, like Popo was saying. As a world artist, you would find that there is a guy who is coming for performance that has not released a song in the past 5 years. For here, it's very, very hard. So you need to keep producing music every day for you to get performances, for you to get gigs.
Inside and outside the country?
Inside and outside.
Okay, Ariel.
Yeah, to me, I would say the same thing. The gap is there. You have to do music consistently, but again, as I mentioned before, you're doing that through the few money you get from the streaming platforms, which is not realistic. It doesn't fit well. That's when you're gonna see an artist releasing one song in 6 months, and then the audience is saying that artist is no longer working. You actually don't know what they're dealing with, because it takes money, it takes energy to bring that music video out, And with that music video, that's gonna create job opportunities.
Ornella, being part of a global network, how does it helps artists to access new markets?
I'm pushing artists to not wait until they have their songs out, recorded, or having their video music out, because we're giving them the stage, we're going to give them the content, we'll have a professional video out after the performance, but also we giving them the content that they can use to actually be booked for other events. And not only, it's not just here again, we're also submitting it to the global team, where they're able to share it with the whole because so far exists in more than 400 cities, and so they're being watched by like a lot of people. And so the main thing is for artists to take that chance. Don't wait until your songs are recorded, but use the chance to get a stage platform, or basically like the platform like So Far Sounds, to come and try out your music first. See even if that's something that would appeal to the community.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So Popo, can you touch on your students seeing international platforms like markets outside Rwanda? Can you touch on that?
Yeah, sure. And I'll say it exactly the same way I tell my students, and I probably told Ariel and those who will come tomorrow. The only thing I have to also keep up with the new trends and the new form of, ways, the new ways of, selling music and everything. Everything is made by design. Nothing happens because just fell from I don't know where. You have to strategize. You have to have a timeline. And you must know how long a song, if it's a single, is going to last. So from the time you go to the studio, from the time you compose, go to the studio, the whole production line, By the time you go to the radio, the time you start selling, the time you put it on the platforms, then the time to go take it to the people, you must know if it's going to take you 1 week, 2 weeks before you release the next one. It has to be designed. And there are people who are good at that. So those who are just hustling it, doing it any way they can, then issues may arise from there. But you need to strategize everything. I guess some of the solutions we're probably going to get from this very conference here, which is, again, I will have to thank Access for bringing this conference here for that purpose, because not only my students, but our Rwandan artists need to hear some of the things that are going to be talked about in this conference, because yeah?
What happened, or what enabled your student to be outside there on international markets?
Well, first of all, it's the quality. I cannot say that we have had those who have been, doing that well outside of Rwanda yet, but they are heard in the Rwandan diaspora, and that's a market to not ignore. So if Bruce Melody goes outside of Rwanda to perform, he's performing for the Rwandan diaspora, and there are many of them, and it's a market. It's a niche market, but a very important one. So first thing from the students that are known, to come from our program, it's the quality of. Basically, we're trying to graduate a full artist, an artist that understands music business, performance, basically ethics, entrepreneurship, and how to sustain your career. So for them to be known internationally, it's what exactly they're doing. They're releasing songs, good songs, music video. Those who are into traditional music, same thing, same approach. What's happening today, who's selling. I will even say, without apology, that we are a little bit ahead of our country, because it's like, I think Ornella was saying, or Ariel, that it's the private sector that is not catching up with what we have to offer today. So all you international people who are here, look out, watch out. We have great talents here.
So, guys, I was scared you guys are sleeping. Who's with us? Who's enjoying this? Now, this is a very important moment we are going into now, right? Who's coming here for investment opportunities? Oh, wow, you guys are not coming to invest here. Okay, collaboration? Okay, so this is the moment now, right? Take your phones, take your pens. They're going to pitch you 1 or 2 things, right? And I want to make sure you guys jump on the opportunity and make things happen. So far, start.
Well, for me, I'd like to start by saying we have been able to do things through just by ticket sale. You know, we're not getting other sponsorship opportunities outside. We've been able to collaborate with a few brands. We collaborated with Heineken, grateful for them, and grateful for even British Council soon.
Don't drink and drive.
It's amazing, but we can do more than what we're doing now. So we want to be able to bring artists that are not globally recognized, but that have true talent, that are unique. We want to bring them here so that the artists here can also be inspired and start creating. We want to see a lot of collaborations, and that can happen if anyone wants to be on board. And so, yes, we are giving that. We're still looking for a premium sponsor. We're still open to anyone who's willing to join us. Yeah, you're very much welcome.
Amazing. Ariel?
To me, I'm going to talk about gender representation. I believe with more help, we will have many female artists here in Rwanda standing up for themselves. And I believe through investors who believe in us, women, with that help, I believe that there will be a change in the music scene. Yeah.
Your products, please.
I wanna work on. I have a dream where I work on in a label, just female artists, female engineers, female videographers, and we have those talents here. We have female in the videography. We have Simbi Naila. We have everything that it takes. To be honest, all we need is just investors to not be scared of us. We don't bite, like, you know.
So we brought in Rwanda a group under Rock Nation sometimes back, and they put some money in that was her next EP in back then, and they are making back their money. So anyone interested, please work with Ariel. Austin?
Well, I have lots of ideas and lots of projects.
Just one, they don't have time.
But one project I'm actually looking at is, you see how we do make music videos? We're thinking and planning to do and construct music video production studios. Not just to go out there, look for a venue, for a hotel, for a parking yard. We already acquired land where we want to construct music video production studios, where if you want to actually bring in a truck, you can park it. If you want to bring in a plane, you can park it there. So if anyone would like to partner with us, we're...
So, and he has some attractions. He has a restaurant already. So guys, eat at his restaurant.
Oh, and we do have a restaurant that has the best food in the country.
Yes.
Shouldn't leave the country without trying it.
Popo, what are that one product you can pitch to them to invest in or collaborate on?
One product. Well, visit Rwanda.
That's the government product. What's your product?
Visit Rwanda. I am the government as well.
Ah, okay. Guys, I'm his manager. So, do we have time to have a few questions in the room? Anyone has a question? Yeah?
Yeah, thank you very much. My name is Tabu Osusa. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I run an organization called K-Table Music, and I'm also here on behalf of Access. Mine is actually more of a comment, but before I go there, I really want to acknowledge Popo. I think he's doing a good job with this school. And I remember last year I was here, actually I was recording traditional music from Rwanda, and I think that's part of the collaboration. But my comment was about fusion. I think it's always very good, actually, for artists to work with each other. The biggest success in Africa, I think, is Afrobeat, not Afrobeats. And that was because Fela Kuti took Juju music from Nigeria, or Fuji music, with a bit of high life, and fused it with the American funk. And that's why actually Nigerian music now is tops. And also another good example is Ethiopia, where Mulatto Astake, among others, created Ethio jazz. They took traditional Ethiopian music and blended it with the jazz. So I think it's very, very important for us to do that, because otherwise you just remain traditional. One thing that I think one of the panelists said that you must be clever about it when you are fusing, because you must still retain your roots and then fuse it with another, otherwise you get swallowed. So that's one thing that I think the guys in Rwanda should do. Just the last one, I know you were short of time. I want to congratulate Rwanda for at least doing 88% of local content. That's something that in Kenya we have not been able to do yet. But anyway, guys, congratulations.
We'll have 2 minutes per question or comment, please. Norman.
Hello, my name is Norman. I'm from Simbizi Vibes Kigali. And I just have just a short remark I want to add. You asked for investment, and I said the most important thing to invest is into people. And as Ariel mentioned, I think it's you can underestimate how important it is and how difficult it is to produce music, to tell stories. And this is, without those stories, there would be no growing market. And that's why I just want to invest in the people, because they deserve it. And that's very, very important. Thank you.
Thank you. There was a question back there.
Hello, I'm Elisha. I'm from here, Rwanda. For me, I'm coming to talk about the challenge, which I would like to ask for the panel there. We are talking about the positivity and the journey we did from the start of our music, but we still have a big challenge, especially first of all, let me thank for every hustler here who hustled from his talent from the beginning till now. But I would like to ask one of you there, what are you planning for those upcoming one? Because we are talking about those who have whatever they reached for, then what are you thinking about those one who don't have even the opportunity to reach here, so that to get that ideas and they need them? So that is my...
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Popo.
Thank you, hustler. What I can tell you is the government has put a lot of platforms for you to grow as an artist. And first of all, they had to make sure you have health care, access to education, to grow as a person, as a human being. And now we have a ministry of arts that is putting policy out there so people like yourself can grow and can see themselves live by their art. It's a process. Like I said earlier, we've been growing, and we've seen good progress. That's why we're talking about the positive side. Whenever there's positive, there's also negative. So what we have to work on together is how to nurture your talent and how to make sure that the private sector get involved into trying to make such talent grow and being exposed out there so you can start making money. Mula.
And to add a little bit, I think you know the saying in Kinyarwanda, Baba Vgangu, imani fashu wifashije. You know, you have to do something to get from somewhere. I think we all know how many artists we've helped come from nothing to something. Keynote, there was an artist called Marina. Marina called me on radio. I heard her beautiful voice. I was like, wow, this cannot be somebody called me on the radio. The next thing I did, I noted down the number. So I looked for her. I took her to the studios, did her first song. Today, she's one of the top female artists in the country. And it only took her a phone call on the radio. So sometimes it's God.
Yeah.
Hello, thank you. This has been really amazing. My name is Maimouna Dembele. I'm from Senegal. I'm a cultural artivist. I have a foundation also where I work with young artists, women mostly. I'm all about gender. I'm also the chairperson of the Music in Africa Foundation. This is a question I wanted to ask because listening to Ariel, I wanted to understand, besides funding, what other issues do you have, and is there a way where you're collaborating with other female artists? I know that, for instance, in Senegal a couple of years ago, we came together and created another association with all the young women in the music industry, whether they're into hip hop, whether they're into the local music, mbala, the graffiti artists, we all came together. And now you can see more and more young women who are on the front row. So besides the funding, what other issues do you have, and are you coming together, well, at least young female from your generation, to work together?
What I would say about that is that we are trying to collaborate with the few artists that we can access to. I'm talking about East Africa. To me personally, I've tried to work with some of the Kenyan female artists, Uganda, just East Africa. The other issue is, I'll have to come back to this, it's just gender representation, where, sometimes you see a lineup, let's say a certain concert, we have a lineup and then we have only one female artist, and then I ask myself a question, is that only for the sake of gender balance, or it's just because that person deserves to be on that lineup? To me, it's now more of a problem than a solution. It was something good to put a lady on the lineup, but now it's a problem because it's only one lady and a million of men, To me, I still feel like that's a problem. We need to be on that lineup because we deserve it, not because you don't want to be trolled as an event organizer, Let that lady be on that lineup because she deserves it. She worked for it, So I feel like that's one of the issues that we have to.
So we have 2 minutes, so make your question in 1 second.
Hello, my name is Anna, and I'm an indie artist. My question is simple as goes. We've talked about the modern artistry or music, but we forget the aspect of indie artists. Artists who are in Rwanda and have unique genres of music. The modern market of Rwanda right now is Afrobeats, like somebody mentioned, and it's really hard for the artists who are indie and who are creative in their artistry in Rwanda to get the same attention or investment as these local artists who are just honestly in it for the business. So I have a question that goes, what are you doing about those artists that are trying their best, they're putting themselves out there, but nobody can see that because the kind of music they're bringing to the platform is not really what's selling. And yeah, that's
so we won't take. Okay. But I would suggest also you approach Sofa and Popo to see how you can work together. But in 1 second. Yeah.
Thank you. Actually, one of my answers was to approach people like Ornella, because that's all she's been doing, is to find what you call indie artists. Everybody's indie artist in Rwanda. Nobody's signed to a major. What is called a major. We all indies here. But Ariel mentioned something very important here a minute ago. We are people who are so used to homemade solutions. Find your niche. That means find your audience, grow your audience, then people will come to you. Basically, stay on course, stay focused, keep your eyes on the prize. Do your thing, expose it to your friends, your family. Find your schoolmates. Go to Nyabugogo, hustle. There's a hustler right next to you. Yeah. Go out there and hustle.
Can I mention something?
The Nigerians wouldn't have been where they are if they didn't hustle. Disturb everybody. Don't take no for an answer. Serious.
Should I say good morning? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful artists. I'm Sally Haitham from Uganda. I don't cave myself. In art, we have a problem of caving ourselves. Like you say, I'm this. You have to think out of the box. Let's say, if it's now, it's Afrobeat selling. I do world music. What's the problem a world music artist, to collaborate with this young man who is doing Afrobeat, and we fuse it up to take it up? My humble appreciation to music in Africa, thanks, but my humble request to my fellow artists, it's a high time we work hand in hand together to take music where I want it to be. Unless otherwise, this selfishness won't help us, saying I, me, kindly. Much love and respect.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. It was really a big pleasure for us to be here. Thank you to my fellow colleagues and comrades in the industry. Thank you to Music in Africa Access for this platform. So it's amazing to be here, and we look forward to engaging with you and do business.
Incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it going for them. Before you go, if we could take a quick picture on stage. Raul, yeah, just a quick picture on stage with all the first panelists.